We're going to start on the floor and we want to really relax the legs. So take a moment to prepare, and then when you're ready, start making big circles, but you're driving the circles with your arms, with your hands, and you want to feel the weight of your two legs in your palms. So you're controlling the whole movement with the hands. So try as much as possible not to focus on the circles themselves, but to focus on relaxing the legs. And especially when you reverse this action, take a moment to adjust, to feel the weight, and then start to circle the legs. So it's almost, you should feel like I'm feeling here, that you're about to drop the feet down on the floor, but your hands are holding them. So you're really letting go there, really letting go. And we're going to do the same, only we're going to be doing it with one knee at a time. So we're relaxing one knee, but the other is staying in place. When this free leg comes in, it's going to take the place of the one that was staying strong, and the other one is going to drop. So here we're going to start going very slowly. I want you to really relax, and sometimes you'll catch yourself not being able to relax, but you want to reach a point where the leg just drops out. It's not, it's not doing the splits, it's not pushing down, it's not enhancing on flexibility, it's none of these things. It's sharing the space of tension between the two legs. So one has no tension and the other one has all the tension to stay strong and to help bring the other leg in. And you can see how that trickles into my hips and my body. And if you feel comfortable and you want to follow me here, you can really drop that leg out, and then as it comes in, it works almost as a pendulum, and with force it comes in, it takes the other leg's place, and you keep going from one side to the next. You can increase your speed if you want, but always focusing on how the two legs are communicating through that tension game that we're playing here. One completely dropping, the other one staying strong. So you can work in the same way we did before if you want to. Here we're going to make things just a little bit more difficult. We're lifting the hips just an inch off the floor. We find our strength, we find our base in the feet. And again, we're going to make sure that one leg, we don't need it. We don't need it to be there. We can lift it up. We can make circles in one direction. And then we're going to reverse the direction. It doesn't have to be perfect circles because that's not the issue here. The issue here is to find how the weight can be distributed between the one foot and your two shoulders that are on the floor, and partly part of your upper back, so you can be strong, you can keep the hips off the floor, and you can release the other foot, the other leg. So you want to find, it's almost it's a little bit like a crisscross. You want to feel that there is strength going from that one foot that you have on the floor, up the knee, down the thigh, across to the opposite shoulder. But that doesn't mean that across your chest you're not strong and you're not powerful. So you need to find a way, and you might need to tweak it a little bit for you to be able to stay strong but release one leg and feel that you really do not need it. And what we want to focus on is creating that pendulum idea here too. So the moment that foot comes down, it needs to be ready to take on our weight for the other leg to be free. So that's why I am decreasing the number of circles, and I'm increasing the speed a little bit. And the moment that foot comes down to the floor, you want to be ready to transfer the weight over. You want to have it ready without tensing it before, though, as you're circling it, but you want it to be ready to take on your weight. Okay, so here we go. Movement of the leg inside the hip. So what is happening here? It is a small movement. You want to make sure that you're not tensing up your body. You're staying strong over your front hip, but you're not collapsing. And the back leg finds the freedom to tap the knee down and lift the knee up. See if you can bring your body up just a little bit more. And I'm going to be showing you a variation if you can't do this one in just a second. So, stretching out the leg, letting it pull you center, bringing it in, and letting it push you back in place. So what is happening here? We're making the free leg the leader of the movement. It's leading us from this S-shaped position to the middle by stretching and extending out. And then it's pressing our way back into the S shape. So you want to feel that, of course, your whole body is moving, but it is the free leg that is doing the leader's job. It is starting the movement, and it's telling you this is the way we're going. It's giving you direction, and it's inviting your body from one position to the next. And we're going to switch over. And here I'm going to show you a variation if you can't lift the knee, because you might think that that's a little bit troublesome. You can keep the knee down and just move with lifting the heel off the floor as much as you can. This will allow you to create the movement that we want inside the hip without the extra workout here for the muscle. So the reason we're doing this is because oftentimes, especially when we're holding a specific position between our two legs, even though we think our leg is free, it's not really free. Plus, we're going to need it for our embellishment afterwards. So it is a movement that we will need for our embellishments. you relax, and again, this time is the other leg. It's taking us back to center, and then it is pressing in and sending us back to the S position. So one thing to think about here is that we don't want to resist this action. You don't want to really super stretch and resist the leg just for the sake of I don't know, flexibility or stretching. You want to follow through with the movement, but feel how the two sides of your body are communicating, how the leg is communicating what the movement, where you're going with the other side, with the other leg, and with the rest of your body. We need that information because we're going to be using exactly the same idea when we're going to be standing. Okay, so one final drill before we make our way up. We want to build on that communication between the two legs because we really, really need it for what's coming. So the back knee is going to start taking us to center. In center, the leader changes and the other knee is taking us to the other side, you see? So let's see. You can do it with your hands on the floor or with your hands off the floor. It's a little more difficult, the second option. So the left knee now will take us over to the other side. The left knee again will take us to center. But now the right knee will take us over to the other side. So the leader's role switches between the two legs. And the two legs, it's not that one is more active than the other. It is they're alternating, and they're both responsible for making this drill successful because we need to pass through center and we need to make our way over to the other side. Okay, we're going to do the same thing standing. You are on one foot, the other leg is free. Try to, make some swings, maybe some circles, anything to make sure that there is no tension in the leg. It's free to move forward, back, around. Then come to the middle and feel that the two legs are sharing the weight. Maybe do some rocking forward and back. I want you to be very, very aware of where your weight is. 50-50 between the 2 feet. And then shift all your way back. Completely free up the front leg. Test your balance here, making sure that one leg is the one carrying your weight. And again, pass from the middle. Make sure that the 2 feet are sharing your weight before you transfer and you're back to the front. So it is, now we're still here just taking in as much information as we can of how we manage to go from 1 foot balance to 2 feet to 1 foot. So you're not really looking for any power, any flicks, any balance tricks, anything like that. You're just saying, okay, if I'm on 1 foot, and obviously the one carrying my weight is the one that's going to push me forward, how can I do that successfully and efficiently in the smoothest way? As a preparation to our next drill, just do a couple of steps. 1 step back and then one step forward, being aware of what we were working on before, going from 1 foot to 2 feet to 1 foot again, balance. Notice the timing. How much time do you need? And which is the leading leg in all these phases. So now we can go to our next drill, where, see how I'm not 100% back. I'm on my way back, but there is a point where the front leg can be spared and can do something else, is actually free to kick back. So try to find that. You might need to be rocking for a little bit more time forward and back, but the idea is to be able to use the power that from the push to kick, and at the same time to shift your weight backwards. And that's where we're going. We're going to that ocho. So we're going to repeat our exercise here, because you were going back only with one leg. You want to work the other side. Now you're a little bit more aware of what we're looking for. We're looking for those transitioning moments, those moments where one leg is not actually needed. When is that timing? Is it just there? Now that I'm clearly I can stand on 1 foot. It's not. We saw that happen before. You can actually start kicking back just a little bit before that. So that timing is what we want to find, so we can have a nice and powerful and spicy embellishment for our back ochos. While at the same time, we're grabbing the opportunity to analyze a little bit more on our steps and walks. And once again, start doing just steps, just to get into it, paying attention to that timing, to those moments of transition. And we're gonna start using the front leg to kick. You can take a moment to find it, just like me. See, sometimes you need a moment. When is the right time to start kicking that leg back? It can't happen too soon, or you're never gonna make it there, or it's gonna be not a nice embellishment. But at the right time, it will take you back. It will give you a nice embellishment and a really powerful back ocho. So find the moment where that front leg can actually lift off the floor. And now with heels on, if you like to, followers, leaders, you don't have to. This is a drill that we used in our previous video on these, but now you are a little bit more prepared because we did all these exercises in the beginning. So now you can see why we were on the floor in this S position, working with one leg leading the way, while we were doing all these weird stuff of the knee, doing these lift and drops. So this is why. And you want to lead that ocho from the free leg. We're gonna need it. So use here all these exercises. Use the freedom that hopefully you have created in your hip for your leg to move freely and lead you all the way around. And of course now with an ocho, but I want you to find that free leg and really make that free leg the leader of the movement. So this is the leader, and it pendulums over to the other leg. So one leg is pulling you back and the other one, as you pass through the center, takes the lead. Just like the exercise with our, when we were doing on the floor. So this is my right leg kicking back, and then at some point in the middle, the left leg takes the lead, pushing you all the way back and then kicking. So you want to really build a relationship between the two legs where both of them are working, but they're also sharing, playing that game of tension. Which one is the leader? Which one is the free leg doing the fun stuff? And which one is the one that gives us direction? And that changes throughout our step. So I want you to find that. I want you to focus on the right moment for these transitions. Don't focus too much on how high the leg goes. That's not important. So what is important is to find the right moment where you can actually kick the leg back. You can see it here that I'm not 100% on axis when that front foot starts to lift off the floor. when and if you're ready, just back ochos with our embellishment. Still though, with all these elements coming in. The communication of the two legs, the freedom of the leg inside the hip, the free leg leading the pivot, all these things coming into our ochos and helping us create something a little bit more spicy and fun for our practice.